Happy holidays. This is a special, another what if, you know, a simple concept that, I didn't really think I'd get as far as I did, but fuck. Yeah, no, I was able to get pretty far with this one, so let's get in with it. Because, not gonna lie, this probably was like high speed, like a simple change kind of struck my imagination. Like, holy shit, we struck oil, boys. Shit like that. You know. So we going with it. I'm sorry, because I was trying. I'm working on other what ifs than the continuations, and I'm like, I'm almost with where I like them, but this one, it's just what I currently have. I just like too much. So it's time to share. Okay, so you're reading it, right? What if Tsunade was Naruto's godmother? So in this timeline, Don and Tsunade would have had a child named Naruto, who, died in the womb shortly after, Don died. This kind of fucked up Tsunade, but, it was her student Kushina who was able to, help her kind of break that cycle. In Jiraiya's, book, the main character's name is Menma, so none of that. But, when Kushina announces she's pregnant, she tells Tsunade, well, not tells, but she asks Tsunade if she's okay, with them naming it Naruto and Tsunade being the godmother. Tsunade's she cries, she hugs, she gives one of those like bone shattering hugs to, Kushina. She's just saying, easy, the baby. Tsunade apologizes, but no, they agree. So everything still kind of happens in canon up until the point, where like Kyubiatek. Because Tsunade was more involved, she was there to actually help lessen the damage of the Ninetales attack. So not as many people were killed. This also means more people were able to reappropriate, breed, I guess is the best word I can say. So no, Tsunade using her monster strength was able to actually help throw Kurama back, constantly beating him. She was able to summon Kutsu, and yeah, they were able to cause more medical treatment. So Ninetales' attack was not as bad as in canon due to Tsunade, having a more active role in the Leaf Village, thanks to, Naruto. But this doesn't stop from, Minato and them dying. However, here is another difference. Tsunade is there to pick up Naruto, and Kushina, she's saying, you know, you, please raise Naruto for her. Tsunade's just like, I'm his godmother, and, Kushina saying at this point, you are his mother. Minato just nods, saying they trust, the Sanin of all people. Even Minato's just like, if I had to choose between you and my sensei, I would much prefer you, Lady Tsunade. Tsunade, she's crying up as, she's holding Naruto. She nods to them, and yeah. Now, in case you're wondering, will Tsunade still leave the village? Yes. She decides to leave the village still because now there really is nothing else. The only thing that attaches her to anything is Naruto, and, the villagers are still pissy about, the Ninetale attack, despite it not being as damaged. So when her work is done, she tells Hiruzen she's gonna take Naruto, and when it's time for him to, become a ninja, you know, he'll send him over, and he'll do his graduation academy. Hiruzen saying, no, you don't have to watch him that long, just once he's in the academy. Tsunade shakes her head, saying, no, as the boy's guardian, I'm choosing when. And, my skills are well more than whatever tuning or joning you would get to teach them. Since this is the son of the fourth, Tsunade saying she'll raise him, to be a great Hokage. And, that's that. There's no arguing with this with her. And Hiruzen realizes this. Jiraiya will occasionally visit Naruto. But, yeah, as Naruto's growing up, he finds out through Tsunade he has, you know, pretty much the amalgamation of his parents' chakra natures. So all but Earth. He has fire, wind, water, lightning, yin, and yang. Tsunade seeing this is like very happy because, she can train Naruto to her utmost limit. And, she also notices that Naruto had a large chakra amount. So, rather than teaching him the basic clone jutsu, she helps him with the shadow clone jutsu when, he's growing up and showing his massive amounts. This also made things like learning easier because Naruto would follow the control that Tsunade's saying, just do the 4 clones for now until like later. So Naruto would always have more chakra control without him realizing it. This also helps her divide in teaching Naruto what to do. 1 clone would go into tree walking, 1 water walking, 1's practicing just regular ninja weaponry. The one right there is just with Tsunade practicing, basic hand-to-hand combat. Eventually, she's going to train Naruto with also the medical ninjutsu and the strength of 100 seals, of course. Naruto will have that chakra enhanced strength, so that's going to be fun. Now, in case you're wondering what happens in the leaf, the normal, you know. Well, I guess you could say Hinata's off a lot worse now, since... Well, no, let's change that. Where in this one, since, there's no one really for anyone to stand up for Hinata, this causes her demeanor to change, and she becomes a very cold and fucking hateful, spiteful bitch. She's very salty, so her training it was like more intensive, and not that she thinks she's better than everyone. She's still like very a kind person at heart. It's just, now she's a very almost just beat the shit out of you type of person. She's not timid, she's not hesitating, she is just straight like gangster with her hands right now. Her hands are rated E for everybody. Like, you can be age of 3 or the age of 33, you catching these hands, and that's Hinata's motto. Now, keep in mind, this doesn't necessarily upset Hasashi. He likes seeing his daughter being strong and, this very brutal, aggressive nature. He deemed it worthy enough for her to stay the clan head, so yeah. This also would cause Hinata to be more proficient with, taijutsu and her Byakugan use. So, yeah, give her a little buff. But everyone else pretty much is still left off the same as canon. But I know you're watching the photo, and Naruto is not hugging Hinata, so what the fuck is going on, you may ask? Well, let us go. We're continuing on to when Naruto would be... He's about 7. When Tsunade is just like, okay, the past few years we've done the basics of ninjury. I guess I can say that. The ninja history. She's taught him like all this. And Naruto is really smart. She realizes that Naruto catches on pretty quickly. And, well, yeah. She's very happy. So Naruto's already mastered the things that I mentioned earlier with tree and water walking. So his chakra control is very well, because, Tsunade, chakra control. It's like the same thing almost. It's like definition is Tsunade. And, 106 centimeters, definition is Tsunade's chest, according to Jiraiya. Anyway, Naruto, he would have had some meetings with Jiraiya by now, but, he doesn't really like Jiraiya because he's a pervert. But yeah. This is when Tsunade's trying to tell him it's now time for the other training, and that is, medical ninjutsu. Now, Naruto's kind of curious on this, but Tsunade's saying we're going to do this differently. She wants to test out something that she's noticed with Naruto. Despite him being young and his massive amount of chakra and his eagerness to learn, she's going to try and exploit that. So she tells him to make, 100 clones. Naruto does, and she asks, how tired is he? And he's saying, Not really anything much of chakra depletion. She smiles and nods, and then she begins to explain how, for the next 12 hours, he's going to be focusing all of his chakra into a certain point, and that's how they'll be. This kind of annoyed Naruto, and, Tsunade said she doesn't care, and, she cracks her knuckles and saying if he has a problem, he can fight her. Now, in case you're wondering if Shizune has tagged along or if she's there, yes, I must say yes. Shizune is Naruto's older sister in this. Well, according to Naruto, that's his older sister. He doesn't really know a difference. You know, he might hear his name as Naruto Uzumaki, but in his mind, Shizune's sister and, Tsunade is mom. It's just as simple, He even called Tsunade mom, which Tsunade tried to explain to him, she's raising him, but, like, she's the godmother, but, you know, Kid Naruto's just like, it's like the same thing, you know, it doesn't matter if you're the godmother or not, you're the one raising me, so I'm gonna call you mom, you know. This ultimately is what kind of helps Tsunade break through with all of her trauma. So, Orochimaru, though he's heard, that there is a child with Tsunade, he understands that, it's the fourth. So he's going to have special interest in Naruto right now. Because, a child raised by one of the Sanin sounds interesting. And in case you're wondering, yes, Naruto still has, his half of the Kurama. But, Kurama during this montage of, seeing Naruto grow with Tsunade and how, Naruto has, despite his fucking with him, is still efficient with his chakra, thanks to Tsunade's training. So, during one night of Naruto, his very exhaustive training schedule with Tsunade, the whole fatigue of the other clones, that's what they worried about, but, Naruto's surprisingly quick to heal, so they proceed. But Naruto, he's in his bath and, he's just slightly napping. Well, not napping, but drifting off into his sleep. And, he opens his eyes. He's in a weird, sewage room with this olive green light. He realizes he has clothes on, which is weird because he's just like, huh. Could have sworn I was just naked a while ago. But, he's just walking along. He stumbles across the room with Kurama, and Kurama chuckles and saying, I didn't want to see you naked, boy. So, a few clothes in your mindscape isn't that really of a bad thing. Naruto's just like, who are you? Kurama explains he's the Nine Tails. And, Naruto, after hearing that, he's just like, okay, so what's your name? This is one of the impacts that Tsunade's had on Naruto. And that is, always be polite, always be respectful. When someone's introducing themselves and they ask for your name, make sure you get their name. Kurama laughs and chuckles and saying it's been forever since anyone's actually asked him his name. So, he tells him his name is Kurama and he's seen Naruto grow. And, it's almost time for him to be a ninja. And during that time, he'll be in very dangerous situations that aren't good with, Kurama. So Kurama's telling him this. If, and only if, your life is in danger, you can come to him, and he'll help you out with some chakra. Naruto just smiles and he's saying, thanks, Kurama. Kurama's taken back by this because he's thinking Naruto should be scared, but no, he's thanking him. Kurama, he just chuckles to himself because he's thinking Naruto is just an interesting kid. And he's thinking, is it because of the woman who's raising him, or what would have happened if, this wouldn't have happened? He's thinking, if this woman wasn't here, would he be able to, take over Naruto? A dark chuckle as, Naruto leaves. Naruto's just thinking he made a nice friend. Kurama, he just starts, waiting patiently. You know, if that opportunity were to arise, he can't, like, not just actively and take full control. So, Naruto, when he wakes up from his bath, it's because Tsunade's knocking and saying it's time for him to get out. He's not a baby anymore. She doesn't have to wash him, you know. And then this is when they start teasing Naruto and saying, or do you want, like, Shizune to go and wash you now? Someone who's not like your mom. Naruto, he's just saying, no, that's not necessary. Kind of being annoyed and flustered by this, but, well, that's what it is. However, as they travel throughout the lands and the countries, Naruto practicing his jutsus, eventually they're thinking it's the amalgamation of all, the shadow clone training that Naruto's growth is, rising even more. In reality, Kurama has slowly stopped fucking with Naruto's chakra control. To make it where it's boosting him, but in reality, it's just like slowly the weights are coming off and, easing Naruto into, sudden power. He eventually learns some wind style and water style and lightning style. Shizune helps him with fire style. When it comes to medical ninjutsu, Naruto, he's pretty efficient at it. Roughly like mid-tuning tier, if we're being honest, despite him being, only 12, but it's about time for him to go to, the Ninja Academy and do his graduation test, and, they're going to be signing teams. Now, one of the key changes that I'm making was, I'm making people a bit younger, and also changing the fact that, Neji and Hanabi were twins, and they are, Hinata's younger siblings. That's right. We're changing a lot. One thing I'm also doing is, since the spot with Neji's open, Naruto will fill in, be with Tenzin, but their team is not going to be, Mike Guy, and their other teammate is not Lee. Their team, in fact, resolves in another transfer student who, surprising Naruto, was found by Jiraiya and was trained by Jiraiya and had a specific interest for him and Naruto to meet. Because this person, happened to be in Uzumaki as well. Now, Naruto and this fellow clanmate of his, he's interested because she has red hair but glasses. Their sensei is Anko, and Anko introduces herself. She's saying, like, this is going to be a hellacious week for them, as, they are deemed as Team 5. Team 7 would consist of, Sasuke, Sakura, and Lee, and yes, they're topped by Kakashi. And Lee has already been proven to, body Sasuke, which pissed off Sasuke. Of course, when Lee asks, when Kakashi asks Lee how is he so strong, he just says it was his his personal sensei. And he's just looking at him, and you're like, so you mean? Lee just smiles and says, yep, my guy. Because, guy shows up and he's saying, hello, Kakashi. I heard you're taking over mentorship role over my student. Well, congratulations, Kakashi. You will get to see the fruits of Lee's youth and vigorous training under the fabulous blue beast, Mighty Guy. And if y'all think my guy voice is doing better, because I'd like to believe so. At least for dubbed guy. Like, I feel like I'm getting better. Anyway, Kakashi's looking at Guy and he's saying, aren't you, like, going to be teaching? Just my guy saying, no, this year he's in charge with, tuning exams. So, that's where his default is. So, yeah. Everything will proceed as normal for, D-ranking missions, but Naruto had grown closer to, this other girl. But it becomes very, very quick and very obvious that, you know, the two are like boiling oil and dry ice. Their reactions are volatile and negative because Karin does not like Naruto and, is, to say the very least, I don't want to do Karin dirty, but like she's more showy, and Naruto's kind of a prude. Being raised by Tsunade. So Naruto, his prudish nature and Karin's openness and her mini skirts and exposed cleavage, Naruto is just struggling, and Anko, noticing this, does not make it easy for Naruto either. Tenten's like the only one who's just like almost as conservative as Naruto. She wears like some shorts, but not as short as Karin or Anko. They're more like just barely above the knee, like thigh length. And she wears her regular tops. And unfortunately for Tenten, she never had a nature affinity. Well, Karin, she had an affinity for water and wind. Naruto feels like, he's the shit because most elemental, but Anko clearly just shits on him and disproves that. But, she explains that even though you might have nature, like chakras, everyone has their other abilities. He points out that Karin has better sensory ability than most Hyugas, according to Jiraiya. You know, Tenten and Naruto look at Karin and eyes wide, and Karin's just like, worship me, you stupid fuckers. And yeah. And also, she's not simping over Sasuke. In fact, Sasuke was instantly attracted to Karin in this one, and Karin got heat by a lot of like girls. So Sakura and Nino are already hating on Karin, but Tenten and her are fine. Hinata, she's intrigued by the other team member on Team 7, Rock Lee, due to his, ferocious tenacity and, never giving up attitude, which, she finds interesting. Which they ended up sharing a, meal under a rainy day, so that's how that ship started. Sasuke, he's kind of simping over Karin, so that's a thing. Now, we're continuing on with the story with, the great mission of the bridge. This is where, Tazuna, he still bitches about, he needs real ninja, and this is when, Naruto and his teammate walk in, and his teammates walk in, so, Anko's saying, oh, Kakashi, are you not man enough for this? Hiruzen's just like, fuck. So the two are just like, how about this? They're done. A joint team mission. Sasuke argues this because he's thinking they don't need help. And, Naruto's just like, he was a bitch. Sasuke gets kind of mad and starts to fight Naruto, like arguing. But Naruto's just like, you think you're hot shit because you're Uchiha. That's pretty much it. And in case you're wondering why is Naruto acting like this, it's more or less like, I'm not gonna lie, slight racism inherited by the Senju Tsunade with her untrusting nature of, Uchiha because, you know, Minato told her it was an Uchiha who hypnotized Kurama, and that's what caused all this bullshit. And, even Kurama mentions that, yeah, it was Madara Uchiha and then some guy who claimed to be Madara Uchiha. His chakra wasn't the same, so he was bullshitting me, but yeah, I don't fuck with Uchihas either. So, Naruto's already on like, nah, fuck you, you Uchiha hole. You know, just for the sake of saltiness for Sasuke. And, Karin seeing this from Naruto, she's just like, damn, I kind of like that. Tenten, she's just like, whoa, Naruto's more normally like chill, but he got some heat. Anko, she's just smiling because she's just like, that's right, this boy got some backbone. So, she slaps Naruto upside the back, in a playful manner, saying, all right, kid, fine. You want to show up, the Uchiha, might as well. How do you feel, Kakashi? We'll both, escort this drunky, what do you do again? You know, Tazano with hiccups saying, I build bridges. And hopefully you don't burn the friendship here. Zanko's saying, does that work with you, Lord Third? Hiruzen's just like, fine. And it is a double joint mission. And, he does feel slightly more comfortable knowing that, they're going slightly more armed than needed, but, this will shut up the Uchiha boy slightly. But, time continues. The puddle shows up, but when the puddle happens, Team 5 was already on that shit. And in case you're wondering what I mean, Karin, with her sensory ability, had already nodded and made gestures to, her teammates who had, decided to do spreading out, Anka saying she'll be in, like, with staying in the back with him. Well, Karin said she was going to go use the restroom. Tenten said she'll escort her. Naruto saying he makes a few clones and he's saying they're going to go, scout the edges and go off forward. The girls went on the back way, so it was safe. Of course, Sakura's just saying, are they, okay doing that? Oh, Anko's just like, oh, Naruto's kind of a prude. Karin, despite her, vulgarness and edginess, nothing's probably going to happen with the two. Anko then, hints that, if anything, it's Tenten. Kakashi's saying, what, really? I'm like, yeah, she totally has, like, crush eyes on him. Karin, she's a wild one at that, but I don't know. Anko's just like, she has her own free-spirited nature due to Jiraiya. But, Anko's not gonna lie, it is kind of like a mini version of her, which she finds entertaining. So, yeah. Karin, of course, she's told her teammates where and when the puddle is. So, when the teammates pass it and Kakashi hasn't stepped through it yet. It's just the puddles still. They're finally saying, well, where are those people, after, so and so long. This is when, the Demon Brothers decide to, spring up and wrap their chains around Sakura, because she's the one who got caught lacking, when, Tenten already came in with the kunais, stopping their chains from ever crushing Sakura. Naruto already coming underneath from the ground. No, it's not Earth style. He just dug his way through with his clones. They jump up, they grab the Demon Brothers, slam them into one another, and, throw them up. Karin has prepared, her chakra. Her and Naruto, they just nod as Naruto supplies the lightning. Karin supplies the water with, Karin shouting out, Water Dragon Jutsu! And Naruto's just like, Lightning style! Great lightning execution! As, volts of electricity flow through the dragon. Just kinda this does kill the Demon Brothers, but, overkill's the best type of kill. So, they fall down to the ground, lifeless. As, Sasuke's there like, I couldn't even do anything. I can prove that I'm the Uchiha, legendary, like, god tier, shit. Kakashi, he's just like, huh, I did not know you taught them that, Anko. And Anko's just like, believe it or not really my thing. Tenten, she shows back up and, she hugs Naruto saying he did great. Karin's just like, am I chopped liver? Tenten, she's just saying, no, not that. And, Karin, she just gets it. Oh, I get it. You have a thing for the boy. Naruto, he blushes as, Tenten's still, like, on him. And, at this point, he's just like, does Tenten like me? So, when he looks down at her, he's, checking her out and realizing, their bodies are really close to one another. So, he does get kind of nervous as, he's just laughing. He's just saying, oh, come on, stop teasing. Karin, she's a friend. She wouldn't like me like that. So, Tenten, she's just like blushing too. She gets off of Naruto. She's just saying, right. We're just friends. Karin's just like, if that's the case, then you wouldn't mind me doing this. She pulls in Naruto and gives him a kiss. This kind of surprises everyone else. Anko's just like, huh. She really is a wild one. She's just smiling as Kakashi's just like, is this safe for your own team to do? Anko's just like, I mean, if he gets too rowdy, then it's easy to bring him in. Just a few, she makes the, like, snipping motions. Kakashi's just like, you are evil. Anko's just like, uh-huh, but that's why we're dating. Saying it so casually as Kakashi's just like, Phew! Sakura then looks back. Kakashi looks back. They're looking at him. Lee's just like, damn. Way to go, Kakashi-sensei. The power of youth. Anko smiles and says, like, yeah, he can go up to the second gate. Lee's just like, interesting. I did not know you know those techniques, Kakashi-sensei. Anko's just like, yeah, he uses them for other things, though. Nudging him in the, like, ribs. And, Kakashi's just like, damn this bitch. Damn this bitch. We not supposed to let them know this. I did not like these kids enough to let them know my life like this. He's just like giving Anko a scowl, and then Anko just whispers in his ear, I guess you have to punish me. And then she just like dashes forward, and Kakashi's just like, oh. Alright then. It be like that, and Kakashi just cracks his neck. As they're asking him, what's wrong? And Kakashi's just like, she just managed to say the right words to, make me want to get this mission over with. They're thinking, she pissed him off. Ho ho ho. On the contraire, Kakashi has been ignited with a, I guess, as Guy would say, a youthful flame within him. As, they continue on. Zabuza would still appear as normal. And if we're completely bypassing the kiss, it's just because there's an awkward silence between, Tenten and Karin, because Naruto, he's just passed out. This man was not expecting Karin to do this. He sure as hell wasn't expecting any tongue action, so, every time he, like, moved his tongue, like, tried to move his tongue one way, it, like, inadvertently met with Karin's. Karin was surprised that Naruto knew how to use his tongue, so, she kept the tongue kiss going for like almost a minute. It literally took Anko, hitting Naruto, and that's why he's out cold, by the way. It's not just, total excitement and, the blood rushing into something else. It was, because the blood was rushing into something else, Anko could tell, you know, enough. And, that Tenten was, like, kind of hurt. She's just, like, staring daggers at Karin. Karin's just trying to apologize. She didn't, like, mean to take it as far as she did. It was just, like, surprisingly, he knew how to use his tongue. She's saying it so nonchalantly, and then, Tenten's throwing kunais at her, and she has to dodge them and go like, chill. Just chill. Like, I thought you said you don't like him like that. Tenten, she has to admit that, yeah, she does. Anko's laughing. Karin's laughing. Team 7 and Tazen are just like, what's going on? And Kakashi's just like, I could probably understand. I probably know, but y'all are better off not. So, yeah. They get to the point where Zabuza would appear, and this is where something changes. And, he's in his mindscape as Kurama's just fucking laughing at him, like dying of laughter, saying, wow, boy.
Wow, Naruto. That was pretty pathetic. She caught you by surprise on that one, didn't she?
Naruto's just like, I don't know what to do now. He's just like, he's just thinking, you go like, what do I do when I wake up? Kurama's just like,
you mate with her, obviously. Is that not what you humans do?
Naruto's just like, we're a little young. And then he's just thinking, oh God, what if mom finds out? And, Kurama's just thinking,
she would probably beat you into the ground. On the other hand, that's pretty funny. However, I probably would end up dying with you, so best not to say anything.
Naruto's looking at Kurama and saying, but, does that mean Karin likes me? Naruto, he's kind of confused right now, so Kurama has to say,
if we're being honest, probably not.
Naruto's saying, so why'd she kiss me? Naruto has to explain to, Naruto gets the early lesson, bitches ain't shit. Kurama has to explain to him,
there are some women who use their bodies to allure women. If what I've heard is correct, and she's been trained by Jiraiya, a known pervert, her other ability might be seduction. And your sensei, Anko, yeah, she too.
Fuck. That yawn came because of the Kurama voice.
She too is very proficient in that skill of seduction. At least from what I've been able to see.
Naruto's just like, oh, what about
the brunette? No, she's similar to your personality. Very shut in and upkept, kind of closed off. However, I don't think it's that she isn't interested in you. She may, due to her reaction before you were, knocked out so hilariously.
Naruto's just like, her reaction?
You might not have been able to see it, but I have better control.
Fuck. Other yawn. As Kurama saying, out of the corner of his eye, he was out of Naruto's eye, he saw like how Tenten looked kind of hurt. She looked like she was gonna cry, and how she also wanted to murder, either you or Karin. And he's just like, go with Karin because, Naruto wasn't the one who started the kiss, but yeah. You know, Zabuza will still show up, and Naruto being asleep, this is when, they're trying to figure out, okay, how do we wake up Naruto? Because Kakashi and Anko are just like saying, stay back. You know, this is when they're about to, kick Naruto awake before, he disappears. And by disappears, I mean a poof of smoke. They're kind of confused on what just happened. And sure enough, they realize, Naruto had, switched out with something. They see a little note and saying, cover me. That's all it was. They're confused on where did this come from, and, Team 5, they're realizing it's one of their pre-saved notes that, they have for, in missions when they can't talk and they can't really do much. Sometimes a simple note. So yeah, they're looking around as, they're seeing Zabuza and his two water clones, fight against Kakashi and Anko. As Zabuza standing in the background, just kind of laughing. As, he's not really expecting anything. So, when he hears a kid saying, I challenge you! And he sees Naruto, Anko's just like, oh, you stupid motherfucker. Nah. Naruto, get your ass back in formation. As, Naruto, he just finally decides to, let loose. Kurama's saying, show him what you got, kid. As, Naruto, he dives on in. Zabuza does dodge the punch because it was in a straight line, so he's just thinking it was a simple punch. But, to the shock and slight horror of everyone there, a crater with the depth of 20 feet, formed under Naruto's punch. Naruto jumps out of the hole, and as he's saying, come on, like, I just need one hit on you. As, Zabuza's kind of like confused on how the fuck does a kid have that much physical strength? This is when, 10-10 finally starts throwing shuriken at Zabuza, and Zabuza has to, block it with his executioner blade. However, this is when, Karin comes up with the body of water with water ninjutsu. This is, Zabuza's thinking, you can't beat me with water style. He's weaving his hand signs about to launch his jutsu when, Naruto comes up and hits Zabuza right in the side, being able to, strike him and push him forward into Karin's water pulse jutsu. This causes Zabuza to be sent back again to where Tenten had set up another trap. Landmines have set up when Zabuza crashes and the explosion pushes Zabuza back up. This is when Anko, her shadow snakes wrap around Zabuza, the real Zabuza, because, the clone got dispersed in the distraction. Kakashi and the other Zabuza clone are kind of surprised. Team 7 is shooketh. Tazuna's just like, wow. Anko had grabbed her snakes and they bite into Zabuza's body. And, they pull him straight down, slamming him into the ground. Zabuza coughs up some blood. So, his bandages turn some red. He gets up. He's annoyed. And, he's telling him, I was good, but they won't get another as, all of a sudden the earth beneath them erupts. As, Karin shows up. And, point blank, wind style, KO palm. Pushing Zabuza in his already injured ribs, towards Naruto, who, he's falling from the sky as he just yells, Heaven kick of pain. Zabuza's just like, oh no. When all of a sudden a quick break, like just the quickest blur, just grabs Zabuza out of the way. Naruto's kick misses as, he falls to the ground. No one knows what happened. It's just, Naruto, he's just down. He's not moving. Unresponsive. Eventually they see, the person who grabbed Zabuza leaving. Anko, she checks on Naruto and she's shocked that, there are 2 senbon needles in his neck. They check a pulse and there's none. They're terrified. Naruto's dead, but, This is when Tenten points out something, you know, they're placed in his neck, and he can't move, It doesn't look like he's dead though, Tenten, she does pull out the needles, which cause Naruto's body to react. He lets out a, like, some shit like that. And he's just like, they stole my prize. I'm gonna kill that guy. As Anko, Karin, and Tenten, they're all sighing relief that, Naruto didn't really die. Anko sighs mostly relief because she's afraid of the wrath of Tsunade, if, she let her precious godson, die on a mission under her watch. She don't want to be the one to, like, say, hey, yeah, no, I'm sorry. I know you entrusted me. No, put the fist down. Put the fist away. Put the fist away. There's no need to put that much chakra in your punch, Tsunade. Shit like that. She's avoiding all that likely scenario with Naruto being alive. Of course, this helps push the, relationship between Naruto and Tenten. Because, after Nenten, and then Nenten, ship name, Nenten, or Naruten. Naruten for the ship. Got it. Anyway, Naruto, like, Tenten kind of, like, positions himself, and, she hugs him and squeezes him, and she's, like, like, she's saying she was glad. She kind of, like, thought she lost Naruto there, and, Naruto's just like, Tenten, like, she's confused until, she realizes how she's holding Naruto is kind of like his face is being suffocated towards his chest. So, she kind of gets embarrassed. She kind of drops Naruto on his back, and he's just like, it hurt. Karin, she starts laughing, and she's saying, wow, you got it bad. As, Team 7's just looking at them and just like, the fuck? And Anko's just like, no, it kind of is just like this. I like my little mischiefs, though. Naruto's like saying he can't really move his body a lot. Shit like that. And we progress with, Kakashi carrying Naruto. Kakashi's just like, why do I have to carry him? Anko's just like, because he technically did more than you against, an S class. No, not an S class. Against a Jonin. Was that an S class? I think he was an A class. No, he was an A class shinobi. I know he was Jonin, but no. Regardless, Naruto did more in a fight against that Jonin than you did. And, if someone had their Sharingan active, they could have seen that person and stopped my precious student from taking those hits. Kakashi, he's just like, scowl. Uncle does, like, whisper in his ear, like, she's making it up to him with her special jutsus, or her special, bedroom jutsus that, Kakashi's just like, I can't argue with it. So, they continue on. They get into the village, and things still kind of progress as normal. Rather than, them going to go train with the tree walking and water walking, that's only Team 7. When they ask, what about the other ones? Anko starts laughing and saying, Naruto taught his teammates how to do that, like, damn near the first week. They're all surprised. Naruto taught them, and, Anko's just like, yeah, I was surprised. I kind of just ordered them to, do group training, and Naruto's just like, well, let's get the basics done. And, they're all kind of smiling, and, this is when Karin, she just, because she still wants to, fuck with them a bit, because Tenten is still not, like, fully telling Naruto, I like you. This is when Karin, she gives Naruto a kiss on the cheek and saying, yep, my lucky Naruto Uzumaki. Good thing we already have the same name. It makes it easier when we get married. keep the clan going. Naruto, he gets kind of red. Because, Karin, she's in her regular attire, so she shows more. So when she presses up against Naruto and Naruto looks, she's able to, see the skin. So this does catch Tenten's attention, and she gets mad. So what she do? She grabs Naruto by the other arm, and she pulls Naruto towards her, and even grabs his head, and makes it go on her shoulder. And she's saying, "No, Naruto's not like Naruto doesn't belong to her. Like he's meat." Naruto's just like, so, you know, you smell like strawberries. Tenten, she's just like, then she pushes Naruto and he falls on the ground and he's just like, ow, why? Tenten's, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that, Naruto. Karin, she starts laughing and Naruto's just like, I'm like 99% sure you only did that to do that. Tenten, she's just saying, no, I'm sorry. Sakura, she's looking at Sasuke and just like, why can't I have that with him? And Sasuke's just staring daggers of hatred at Naruto because, Karin. Karin kissed him not once, but twice in front of Sasuke. Sasuke cannot allow this. He's just trying to make a move on Karin in front of Sakura because shits and giggles. So, he's just saying, well, why would you want to be with that brat? With that loser, with that dope. You can be with, Chiha. And, she's just saying, Karin just does one of those spit laughs and she's just saying, like, can you, like, make a hole that big with your punches and kicks? Sasuke's just like, no. So Karin's just like, then, you're weaker than Naruto. And if, you're weaker than Naruto, then you're weaker than Uzumaki. And if you're weaker than Uzumaki, she's not going to marry you. Which, oof. That fireball jutsu, it would have caved in. It did not have enough power or heat behind it to counter this roast. So, Sasuke being salty as fuck goes out and trains by himself like an emo loner. Sakura tries to follow him and just ends up being useless and watches him. Well, Rock Lee does his regular physical training and, he asks Naruto for more tips on training. Karin, she's saying, oh, I got that. And, Lee's just like, really? I was like, yeah. She's just like, but first, we gotta talk about the hair. Lee's just like, but this is in honor of my sensei, my guy. Karin, she's just like, yeah, we're cutting it. Lee's just like, no. As, Karin drags him off into the bathroom with some scissors. As, Naruto and Tenten are right there with Kakashi and, Anko. Anko, she's just like, she grabs Kakashi in a headlock. And she's saying, well, we are going to do some of our own training. As, she looks at, Tazuna and saying, do you guys have a hotel room somewhere? Like, we need a specific place to do our training. And, due to its nature, the content is not allowed for, a child to be near it. Due to, the dangers of him being killed on impact. Tazuna's just like, I get it, just go. This is where the hotel room is, just, dear God. Tenten and Naruto, they're just, like, kind of left there alone. And, Naruto, he's just asking Tenten, so, do you like me? Or, Tenten, she gets nervous and, she's just saying, it's, yes. You're just, she just kind of blushes as she's saying, it's the whiskers. It's not fair. Naruto's just like kind of confused. Huh? Saying, it reminds me of a cat. It's not fair. Naruto's just like, wait, what? My whiskers. And I look like a cat. Tenten, she's just like, it's not fair. I love cats, and you with the whisker marks. She's just like, she goes to Naruto and she covers his cheeks, and like, she's just like, it's too cute. She's saying this, and Naruto, he's just like, do you wanna maybe date then? You know, Tenten, her eyes widen, and she takes a step back, and she's just like, but, but, what about, Naruto's just like, I mean, I kind of like you too, and I, you know, I get it, we're on a mission now, so maybe now's not the best time to talk about this, but maybe something we can talk about later? You know, something? Of course, Naruto and Tenten, they smile at each other as, there's some light blushing as, Anari's mom is just like saying they'd make a cute couple in her opinion, just to throw that in there. Tazuna's just like, you know what, kid? As strong as you are, it wouldn't be a bad thing to, have more than one wife, would it? As Tenten shoots daggers at him, like just staring daggers, getting ready to throw kunai. You know, just like dude Don's, just do the job for Sabuza right now, due to some poor wordplay for Tazuna. Naruto, he's just like, I mean, he can't really, he doesn't really feel anything towards any other women. Like, he admits his teammates do have like special places in his heart. But, Naruto admits, the only thing he's ever had was, women in his life with his mom, his sister, and, his sensei and his two teammates. They're all women, So Tenten hears this, and, she's thinking, does Naruto like Karin? And then she remembers, well, she did get the kiss on him earlier, and, Tenten, she's nervous about it, but, she tells Naruto, that at the end of this mission, damn, at the end of this mission, she has something for Naruto. And, Naruto's just like, wait, really? When did you have time to buy it? Tensen's just like, no. It's just something, like, I feel like it would work well for our teammate, for our, for us to work together. She explaining it's like, it's just some weapons that she had ordered that should be in, like, because they were off on a mission, so she couldn't check. But, by the time they get back, it's definitely should be there. Trying to, like, make an excuse, but Naruto just nods. As, he smiles and he tells Tenten he'll see her later as, he goes off to train on his own. Anko and Kakashi come out of the stair, like, they come out of their little hiding home, and they're like, damn it! Anko's just like, Tenten, why didn't you make a move? Tenten's just like, Sensei, I thought you left. And Anko's just like, I lied about the first part. We're about to leave right now, but, like, come on. Like, you obviously like Naruto. Kakashi's just like, I got nothing in this. I got, y'all are doing whatever. She's raising y'all however she wants to. Anko, she's saying, Karin, she's very feisty and all that, but if she's not careful, she might actually end up, taking Naruto. Karin, she's playful, but, their interactions are, slightly deeming on, more than friendship if, Tenten's not quick about it. Tenten, horrified by this, realization, says she can't let this happen. So, definitely after the mission, she's just gonna, go to Naruto and, all that good shit. Now, time skip to when, the return of Zabuza and, Haku. When, Sasuke still gets his shit, like, licked by Naruto. No, he gets his shit licked by Haku. I probably should have said stomped instead of licked, but oh well. That sounds disgusting. There's some people who've done that before. That's disgusting. Anyway, Sasuke gets his shit swiped, and, he's on death's door. Lee, he can't really do shit either. He's been getting hit. Like, yeah, he's fast, and on the occasion, he's been able to, like, land a blow on Haku, but Haku, like, could block it, not take as much damage, and then, counter Lee with a close range, needles just slash attack to his body. So, we continue on with this as, Team 5, they're there, like, guarding the house, the guys come in, they try and do shit. Tenten takes care of them with a simple, like, kunai throw to their throats. Karin says she'll stay as, Anko tells Naruto to, go see if they need backup. So Naruto, he's going off. Anari and them, they all start to rally as, Anko saying, if y'all want to fight, we can. So, they're all going. So Anko and the rest of Team 5, they're gathering the villagers as Naruto goes for the assist. As, Lee and Sasuke, they're on death's door about to, die. As, in this one, Haku is like he knows the dangers that, that is Naruto, so he might be against it, but he has to kill these two. So, he's getting ready to go when, his ice just fucking shatters the top mirror, which happened to be where he was at. So, as soon as it breaks, he feels like the pressure hit his back. Right as he's about to, like, fall, like, he shoots himself into another ice mirror. As, when Naruto lands, he hits the bridge again, causing, the ground beneath him to, like, crack. So, Naruto, without hesitation, grabs Sasuke. Naruto grabbed Naruto with Sasuke. He grabbed Lee and Sasuke and threw them at the mirrors. Breaking them with their bodies. Like, no regard for, like, their safety at all. He just kind of yeeted them into the fucking crystallized mirrors. Haku's just like, and now you've trapped yourself in here. As, every time Haku tried to rush at Naruto was able to block and parry them. Despite its speed, Haku could not, like, catch Naruto. Naruto was faster than Haku despite him moving in his crystal eyes. He's thinking, no, but this is my domain. This is my territory. How can you defeat me? Plot armor. But, eventually Haku decides to, play dirty. And, he decides to, throw crystal needles towards where, Sakura is. And Sasuke, Lee can't do shit. So, Sakura, she takes the needles to the arms. This is enough for, Haku to, brush past her and, get ready to stab, Tazuna. Naruto, having little to no choice, gotta pushes Tazuna out of the way, so he gets the needle right in his chest. So, Haku smiles, kicks Naruto and gives him a flurry of combos, sends him flying as, he weaves his hand signs as he yells, "Our style, Black Dragon Blizzard!" Sending a, Black Dragon of Snow to grab Naruto, slam him and kind of shit whip him around into the ground, throwing him into various construction sites. Haku weaves more as, he yells, "Ice style, giant ice whale!" From the water, a giant beluga whale made out of ice appears. Naruto, he's just barely conscious, but he sees that it's about to crush them. So, he jumps up and he has to use his chakra-enhanced fist to break the whale. But, this gives the opportunity for Haku to just embed 100 needles into Naruto's body. Which, during this time, Tenten and, the other villagers would have shown up to see what is happening. So they're discouraged as, Naruto gets his shit stabbed. He falls into the water. So, Haku, falls down to one knee due to immense chakra drain. Zabuza smiles and praises Haku, saying that that's it, my boy. That's how you do it. Now, Anko does something, she thought she'd never do. Out of sheer rage, she taps into the curse mark, first stage. It coats her left arm and half of her face. As she speed blitzes Haku, punching him in the chest, sending him upwards. As she sends out her snakes and launches and stabs into Haku's leg. She proceeds to, treat Naruto the same way, he got treated. Slamming him into various concrete, various, pillars of wood. He eventually threw Haku at Zabuza. Zabuza is just like, damn it. You know, he catches, Haku, but this is enough time for Kakashi to come in with stabbing Zabuza and, cutting him in the arm, making one arm useless. Haku apologizes for being, so weak. Zabuza saying, enough, boy. We have to kill them now. As, the water, vapor is starting to come. It's getting really, really hot. They're all looking. This causes, the villagers to, look at the water and, they're yelling, it's boiling! Eventually everyone, turns around as they start to feel this really dark and ominous chakra. Even different from, Anko's chakra that, starting to retract in herself because she's just like, wait, what? As the water's damn near evaporating as a huge eruption explodes. As, it's calm. It's quiet. No one knows what's happening. As, all they hear is a slashing noise and the rolling of two heads as, Naruto appears, coated with the Nine Tails chakra, holding Zabuza's executioner blade, stained with blood, in two patterns specifically as, the bodies of Zabuza and Haku collapse. Naruto wielding the executioner blade, the blood is absorbed as, the executioner blade kind of now belongs to Naruto. So, the chakra retracts into his body as, he's panting heavily. As, everyone's just kind of shooketh. This is when Gato, he shows up and he's just like, well, that was interesting. As, he's thinking, Naruto's done for, there's nothing else. Is when all of a sudden, all his goons just, go as, he turns around and there's, a graveyard of bodies behind him, just embedded and pincushioned with various ninja tools. As, Karin shows up behind Gato, and, she's just like, no, you're done. As, she proceeds to break Gato's arms and legs, and, pretty much saying, hey, villagers, have at it. So, they pretty much beat the shit out of Gato for, a week. Just everyone gets in their good licks, even the children. They beat Gato like a piñata. They're laughing, they're giggling. They're all celebrating as, they're finessing Gato and all of his money. The Mizukage, who, I'm going to just say now it is May. So, 4th Mizukage. She goes up and, she sees Naruto with the executioner's blade. She's saying that's the property of the hidden mist, though. Naruto, he gets kind of pouty, and he's saying, but I killed him fair and square. May, she's just like, very well. So, she lifts up Naruto, and she gives him a kiss on the cheek. On the cheek, my guy. She's not trying to catch a case. Naruto, he blushes, as, when May pulls away, she just licks her lips and saying, so you're just missing Earth chakra nature affinity. Naruto's just like, wait, what? She licks her lips and she's saying, I tasted your chakra. This is when everyone else is just staring at her and Naruto and just confusion. Naruto's just like, can I taste your chakra? Bam! Hit in the fucking head. As, Karin just hits him and, he's out cold. The Mizukage is looking at her, kind of confused, and she's just saying, oh, nothing. It's just we need to leave, So, is he keeping the blade or nah? The Mizukage is saying, think of it as a thank you. She will have, the money for Zabuza Momochi's body, sent to the leaf. When Naruto raises up his head and he's just saying, "Give it to the village here." As Karin's just looking at him, "You're still awake?" And he's just like, "Barely." At her, you know, he's starting to come to, and May, she's just smiling because the resiliency of this boy. So, so May's just going like, "Are you sure you want that money to give to this village?" He's nodding, and he's saying his friend Inari, his family, their whole village, they're going to need a lot of help. So, the money that was coming from Haku and Zabuza's body, there. And he makes the joke, if, the Miss want the blade back, they can always buy it off of him. Mei, she just laughs and she just lets Naruto go. We time skip to when, they're back in the village to, Naruto goes to Tenten saying, "So, what was that thing you had for me?" Tenten, she's blushing because she's just like, "Oh shit, right, well, let's go back to my place and see if the package is there." They go back, Karin, she's following along because, she finds this interesting. So, she follows along. Sasuke, he's following along because he's stalking Karin. Sakura, she's following along that because, she's stalking Sasuke. It's all just a bunch of, fun shits and giggles moments. As Tenten, Naruto, they're back at her place. There was nothing. Or Tenten's parents, they're gone, saying they'll be back in a few minutes. So Tenten's just saying, okay, let her, change up and she'll meet Naruto at his place. Naruto's confused, but he agrees, so he goes off. Karin, she's just like, "Alright then, I'm gonna take this advantage too." So she's going to Naruto's place, but, however she makes it, like, where she ran into Naruto, Naruto's saying, "Karin, oh, what's up?" Naruto he didn't know that they were being followed. So, yeah, Karin's just like, yeah, she got locked out of her own place for right now, so she has to wait for a little bit until, Anko can, open the lock, because she lives with Anko, so, yeah, Anko giving mission reports, so she's just thinking, why not chill with Naruto? Or Tenten? And, she doesn't see Tenten. Naruto's just saying, "Oh, she said she'll be at my place here in a bit." So, Karen, she just giggles and saying, "Oh, are you two going to spend some alone time together?" Naruto's just like, it's not like that. Karen's just saying, "Oh, you're such a prude." Naruto's just like, "I am not a prude." Karen, she's having fun with this, so who would you rather date then? Me or Tenten? And Naruto's just like, "Wait, what? I can't say that. You guys are my teammates. I can't choose that." Karin's just like, "Oh, poo, you party pooper." It's just like, it's totally me, right? Naruto's just like, no, stop that. It's not like that. They're teammates. They shouldn't be doing that. But Karin, she just has her fun. As, they're going into Naruto's house, arguing and all this noise. Eventually there is a knock on the door. Tenten, she walks in and, she's in a slightly different outfit. Her shorts are a little bit normal. Well, not the right length that Naruto's used to. They show more of her thigh. It's just like a little bit more higher up. Her top shows her like belly a little more. Her chest is exposed just ever so slightly more. You can tell that she's showered. She smells nice. Naruto's just like welcoming Tenten, and Tenten realizes that Naruto himself has like cleaned up, but she's hearing the shower running, and she tells Naruto, "Oh, I think you left the shower running." Naruto's just like, "Oh, no, someone's using it." Tenten confused, but she just doesn't mind this at all for right now, as she just goes in. Naruto and her, they're having a nice talk in Naruto's kitchen. Naruto pours her some tea. Karen is, she finishes her show, so she's just like done. Her plan is going as followed. So, Tenten and Naruto, they're drinking their tea. Tenten tells Naruto, she's been thinking about him. And, he's an amazing ninja. He's very skilled, more skilled than what he's giving himself credit for. And, Tenten, all she really do is just throw weapons. She doesn't even have nature chakra to be any use, like, as useful as Naruto. Naruto's just saying, well, you know, if I heard right, Lord Third didn't even have all 5 nature chakras, but he can use them. Naruto, he's blushing. It's just like, I can train you to use wind or lightning chakra. I mean, it'll probably require more chakra for you since it's not your natural affinity, but, Naruto, he scoots closer to Tenten, which, she notices, so, she gets closer to Naruto. As he's just saying, I wouldn't mind spending more time with you. You know, Trading will make missions go smoother. You know, he's trying to be cool, but he's failing, my guy. My Naruto is struggling so badly. But no, off, outside of the village, you know, a few minutes away, Shizune is asking Tsunade why they coming in here. Shizune and Tsunade are just saying, well, no, Tsunade is telling Shizune, it's almost time for the Chunin exams. And, it's time, she feels since Naruto's already moved back, and according to him, he's met some pretty decent, friends, and his teammates, they're all lovely females. He doesn't have a girlfriend yet, but, who knows? Maybe now, but Shizune's just thinking, true. They're thinking, wasn't he paired up with, one of Jiraiya's students? They're thinking, yeah, Shizune's just, not Shizune, but Tsunade's just like, you don't think Naruto would be into such a vulgar woman? They're thinking, nah, no way. He's met Jiraiya and he didn't really like Jiraiya, as far as we know, said Shizune. They start thinking, and, Naruto lives alone. He has 2 girls on his team, and a female on as a sensei. And Anko is known for being more risque. And then, the other girl trained by Jiraiya. Another Uzumaki. Maybe the other last female Uzumaki. The village would probably, want their Uzumakis together. They both look at each other after saying that, they fucking mad dash towards Naruto's place. Just breaking the speed of sound barriers, shit like that. Naruto and Tenten, they're getting close to one another. So, this is when Karin, she just casually walks out in her wet towel. So, Tenten, she looks her, is like, wait. Karin, where are your clothes? Karin's just saying, I have a proposition. They're looking at her like, what? Tenten clearly loves you. And you are, definitely, crushing hard on her. But, Karin, she just, drops her towel, which Naruto's eyes just, widen, and, blood is coming out of his nose just ever so slightly. Tenten, she's just, annoyed. She's saying, what are you doing then? Karin's just I never said I didn't like him. Naruto's just wait, what? But, Karin, she's just you're really strong. And, the only other man who has been stronger than her was Jiraiya, and Jiraiya saved her. And Naruto's, someone who would save her countless times and help her out. Naruto, being as Naruto, easily would, put his own life before his friends, and she gets that. She can't always stop him. However, he's strong, and, you know, one thing that they have in common is that they're an Uzumaki. And, you know, Naruto doesn't have to, love her back or like her as much, but, she will not let, like, Naruto just have only, Tenten, to bet a child. She's thinking, no offense, Tenten, like, she does care about them, but for Karin herself to feel comfortable having a child, it has to be a full blooded, Uzumaki. And if that's the case, then Naruto is right there. And considering how strong Naruto is, you know, it's gonna happen whether, he would want it or not. And Naruto's just like, wait, what? Karin's just like, there are, other methods to obtain you. Naruto's just like, you were going to drug me? Karin's just like, I mean, I was just hoping to seduce you to make it easier, but if need be, then yes. And Naruto's just like, wow. Tensen's just like, wow. Karin's just like, sorry, bad upbringing. Naruto's just like, so you're not gonna drug me? I hope I don't need to. So, she's getting closer to Naruto. Naruto, he's really red right now. He's confused on what to do. As, Tenten, she finally, puts her hand up. She pushes, or like space between Naruto and Karin. Her hands are up. And, Karin, she just grabs Tenten's hand and, makes it grab her chest. Tenten, she's just like, wait, what are you? As Karin pulls in Tenten for a kiss in front of Naruto. As, Karin's free hand grabs Naruto's crotch. As, Naruto's confused and, like, in his mind, he's confused and, like, what is this scenario? This is not what I planned. This is not going how I thought at all possible. When Karin breaks up from, Tenten and Naruto, she's just saying, look, I'm not trying to break you guys up, and I don't want you guys, change how you guys are. She's, Tenten, she's panting. She's just staring at Naruto and Karin. She's like, I just want to have some fun on the side. Naruto is hiccups. Yes, Naruto is hiccups. Naruto is a really great guy and very skilled shinobi, and I don't think it's not fair, since Karin, she's saying he is a master with Shadow Clone Jutsu, so I think it's fair, every now and then, no, there can be love shared. Is, Tenten, she's looking at Naruto. Is, Naruto, he's confused. He's just like, wait, as, Tenten, she's just like, she'd rather, she isn't the biggest fan of this, but, overall, she's surprisingly okay with this. Naruto's eyes wide and just like, what do you mean you're okay with this? Is, she's saying, well, you're pretty much as she described it. Well, I can't really compete with every girl, and maybe it'd be easier if Naruto just like, he kisses, Tenten himself. As, Karin, she still has his hand on his thing, so she can feel it, so she starts playing with Naruto and, Tenten, as, the three start getting closer to one another. Naruto, he's just saying, I liked you both a lot, and I mean, if you guys are okay with this, then, maybe we can, as, all of a sudden the door busts down, and it's Tsunade and Shizune, and what they see is a naked, woman, Naruto, hand, two hands on his crotch. He is at attention. Is, Naruto's just like, ah, shit, I'm finna die. And that's where we're ending it, Rufia. I will continue off with the tuning exams from this point on. Now, actually, I will do a few more missions that will involve Naruto and other of the teams, and then I will do the tuning exams. Which, let's see when that happens. So, I hope you guys enjoy. This is, I guess, my Christmas gift to y'all, besides the Christmas special, because, Christmas special is, like, I guess, mandatory when you're a YouTuber. But I don't do this for y'all. I'll do this because I get bored. And also, this was a fun concept that I did not think I'd have a lot of energy for, but, I can think of some hilarity with this scene. So, yeah. Naruto, not a harem, but, he's built a strong connection with his two teammates, and, the main ship is, Tenten. It's just, Karin on the side with, like, some honey. On the occasion, whipped cream. Chocolate syrup, but they're feeling, like, very tonguey.